get started by introducing to the stage Mysollars.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miguel Molina, and I'm going to share with you our startup, Mysollars, enabling companies to meaningfully engage with consumers. So as we were coming from Switzerland here to France, we saw this ad on our way. And it's great. Companies are spending a lot of money on corporate social responsibility. But then again, we thought they probably also spent a lot of money creating this ad. Wouldn't it be great if we could do both at the same time? It makes sense that they have to spend this money because they want to engage with the consumer. And this is exactly the problem that we're solving. Too many social responsibility dollars are wasted on advertising. How do we propose to solve it? Well, enabling companies to meaningfully engage with consumers through Sollars. So let me share more with you. What is one Sollar? We created a virtual currency called the Sollar. One Sollar is equivalent to 1 kilogram of CO2 coming from renewable energy projects. So these are real carbon credits sponsored by companies. How do we make money? We get a margin out of the sponsored Sollars. So how does it work? Think a little bit the dynamics of Foursquare. But instead of doing a check-in, you actually pick an action, a climate-friendly action, such as I'm going to use my bike instead of the car, I'm going to recycle, or I'm going to be vegetarian for one day. You start taking those actions, and when you do them repeatedly, you start getting badges. And with the badge, you get Sollars. So let me show you our demo to see how it works. So I'm logging in our web platform. I'm going to use my Facebook account. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose an activity. So once I log in, I go to activities. There are different categories of activities. My household, my purchases, my commuting, my diet. I'm going to choose my diet. I pick an action, drinking tap water instead of drinks in bottles. So I choose the action. I can put an additional message that is going to be shared with my social network, saving plastic at LeWeb. I save it, it's shared with my network. When I repeat this action several times, I start unlocking badges, such as the ones I'm showing you here. The Prometheus badge, the Tlaloc badge, the newbie badge. Additionally, I'm always seeing my dashboard. What is my carbon footprint? My reductions. Whenever I took an action, I started reducing my carbon footprint. The Sollars that I received, the actual carbon credits that I got, and how many kilograms I still have to reduce. So if I share this with my friends in Facebook, how would it look like? This is my Facebook account. Thirsty, I'm drinking tap water instead of drinks in bottles. This saved me 2 kilograms of CO2. So I keep doing this activity, and then I unlock a badge. Just unlock the Poseidon badge, the God of Water. I got rewarded with 10 Sollars, sponsored by Helvetic. It could be Coca-Cola, it could be Procter & Gamble, financing a renewable energy project. So this is how it works. We have gathered a fantastic team with different disciplines: social media, business development, entrepreneurship, sustainability, and technology. And actually, I'm missing here finance. One of the team members that recently joined us is Marco. He was the CFO for Hertz, South Europe. We also have compiled a high-caliber board of advisors, the head of digital marketing for Procter & Gamble, Western Europe, legal advisor, and sustainability advisor. We're already working with 10 companies, small and medium, but most importantly, we're starting a pilot early next year with Swisscom, with their employees, and of course, if everything works okay, we'll move to residential customers. What are we looking for? This is our ask. Number one, we've got to build a huge amount of users. So everyone is invited to go to mysollars.com. The mobile application going to be out in about 2 months. Number two, we're looking for funding. We have raised from founders, fools, family, you know the equation, about $150,000. We're raising $500,000 for 1 year. We've already got the interest for $50,000. And finally, we're looking for business-to-consumer companies that are willing to meaningfully engage consumers. Without further ado, that's my presentation. Thank you.
Microphone?
He's got.
Oh. Thank you for that. We were looking for the microphone that you already have, so
Perfect.
they make my job much more easy. And you're saving the planet and all that good stuff. Our judges, I'm sure, have some questions about how you plan to do that. And who would like to jump in?
Sure. Can you run through when you guys were coming up with the idea for the company, how you figured out whether users would actually want to use this product?
It's a very good question. So we came up with a kind of a different idea. We were creating the first CO2 bank. So we pivoted about 6 months ago. With the first platform, we got feedback from the users. So we got about 15% of the population is people willing to do something for the environment without an incentive. 15% on the other side won't do anything. So 70% needs an incentive. So what we're discussing with these companies is that they will provide a financial incentive, such as exclusive access to a concert or big discounts or exclusive things. We're trying to push the concept of carbon neutral is the new VIP. So that is going to move that 70% that we're aiming at. That's the feedback that we've gotten.
Okay, so the user incentive is something provided by the companies, and they get that by accumulating Mysollars.
By being carbon neutral. At the end of the game is to be carbon neutral. So when you reach certain milestones, the sponsoring companies will start unlocking certain rewards, certain incentives, if you will. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Hugo.
What does it cost for brands?
What does it cost for companies? So, of course, depending on how many users they are going to reach, but let's say the cost per user that we're proposing is 10 cents. That sponsors about 10 sollars. And so it's a minimal cost. And then, of course, if you share that in your social network, what we're expecting is that your friends are also going to be exposed with the company portraying their commitment towards the planet. So it's about 10 cents per person. That's what we're proposing. But a company might say, you know, I'm just going to give 50 sollars or 100 sollars or 10 sollars. So we can really adapt accordingly.
And is it possible to have targeted campaigns, or
Is it possible to have?
to target the campaigns?
To target the companies.
Campaigns. So if I want to buy Solars for a certain type of demographic, can I do that?
To choose the project. Yes, absolutely. In fact, we have partnered with South Pole, which is a project developer, 200 projects around the world. So when we're approaching the companies, we tell them we have these projects. So for Coca-Cola, it might be more appealing to sponsor a project in Latin America than in a biomass project in China, for instance. So they choose the project. And you as an individual, if you want to buy the solars, the carbon credits, you can also choose the project.
I'm a little bit excited about your Swisscom pilot. Can you tell us more about that, and especially why they decided to do the pilot? What do they want to achieve from this?
Well, at the end, it's been a long sales cycle. We met with them. I was actually discussing this a little bit as well. We met with them 15 months ago. So we approached them with the first prototype, and actually part of the pivot was due to their feedback. We talked to the sustainability team, and what they're trying to do is to engage people with sustainability. So there's a lot of education whenever you're taking these actions, a lot of awareness that the actions that can reduce your footprint. The pilot is going to be for employees, 1,000 employees between January and February, and depending on certain key performance indicators, we will deploy it with residential customers.
So I guess the question is, I mean, that's overall the challenge, isn't it? Is this something that will be adopted by the CSR department of major companies, or is it something that could get mass appeal because it has a strong commercial underpinning to it?
It's a fantastic question, and something that has happened is we're pitching the CSR department or the sustainability department, and they bring the marketing guys. We're pitching the marketing guys and say, hold on, let me bring the sustainability to be part of the conversation, which is good and is bad, because the sales cycle tends to be a little longer. And with large corporations, we'll see you in 3 weeks when we're meeting with this other guy. So, but this is what's happening. I'm not sure if we're going to go through marketing or it's going to be the CSR/sustainability.
And I'm just going to ask for some clarification. So when you're talking to the sustainability groups, or when you're talking to your customers, is it typically brands who are interested in doing this, or are you actually going back to also like energy companies and things like that to change user behavior?
We're selling it to brands. Our target is large business to consumer. It's the Coca-Colas, the Procter & Gamble's. However, something interesting, we pitched to a company. It's a B2B company, and it was an informal conversation, and the CEO said, you know, Launer, one of the companies I presented, he said, I like it for my employees. How much do I have to pay in Mysollars for my employees to be carbon neutral? So we weren't expecting that, but it happened.
Good. Unfortunately, we are out of time for questions, but I know I'm going to come find you and ask you a bunch more, and thank you very much for your presentation with us today.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.